Hey, this is Holly Thompson. Thanks again for joining me for the Spring Vitality Series complimentary classes to you. This is the second class out of the 7-class series for spring. What we're going to do today is a little mix. We're going to warm up, do some mat Pilates, some balance, a little bit of upper body work after that. What you want to have available is one set of hand weights. We're going to do some seated work today for the upper body. You want to have a Pilates mat or have a really thick padded carpet that you can lay on your back on, and a high back chair or a wall, something for balance support. Okay, so we're going to get started. So the first thing to do is we're going to start by warming up our feet and ankles. Okay, get in a nice neutral stance. Take one foot in front. Go ahead and roll the ankle out. Keep the pelvis nice and steady, spine nice and tall. Great, let's do those on the other foot. Take that other foot in front, go ahead and roll it out. Make sure the pelvis is staying steady on both sides, both feet, right? Great, go ahead and step out into a side lunge. I'm gonna turn a little bit sideways to the camera so I can be on my mat. And we're gonna roll the ankle in. Okay, go ahead and switch the lunge to the other leg. Roll the other ankle in. Great, go ahead and step back. Grab your balance support, whether that's a chair or you can go near the wall. We're gonna take one foot back and we're gonna do the foot stretch. So a great stretch for the top of the foot. Take the foot, push it a little bit out to the side. And just a little different angle here. Improving our feet mobility for better balance and better life. Okay, move the foot out to the side. I'm gonna step out a little bit with my other foot and then drop the ankle in. So you can see I'm using the mat for a little bit of support on the toe. If you have a pad or pillow, you can put that under your foot to pad that big toe area. Awesome. Okay, go ahead and step back to neutral. Other foot, straight behind the body. And start the movement. Bending and straightening the knee. Good balance. Good posture. Okay, take that foot, push it a little bit out to the side, go back into your stretch. I hope everybody's having a great week, had a great weekend so far. We got to 100 in Phoenix, so we made it, we're here, and the humidity dropped, it's like 10%. So I got a humidifier in the winter for one of my cats that was, one of my cats had a respiratory infection, like a cold, and the vet recommended a humidifier. So we got one here in the house. It helps a lot right now. All right, so we went through all 3 stretches on both feet. I'm moving the chair, but keep it nearby. We still want to use it for balance. Take one foot in front, and we're gonna do some ankle circles. Change direction. Great, go ahead and do those on the other foot. Get a good strong balance on your support leg and start those circles. And change direction. Just loosening up through those feet, right? Getting some more blood flow down there, getting all the nerves around the joints that are crossing the joints to move and mobilize. What we're gonna do next is for our hips. So I'm gonna move the camera up a little bit. And we're gonna do a split stance. So take one leg a little bit in front and a little bit out to the side, bend that knee, and the leg behind you, I want you to straighten that knee as much as you can, push that foot down to the floor, and now do hip circles over, think about gliding the pelvis over the back leg. And we're opening up around that joint capsule on the back hip, the front, or the front of the back hip. Okay, change direction. Great, change the lunge. Step back a little bit here. Okay, front knee is bent, back leg is straight, and then circle the pelvis over the back leg, over the back leg. So it's that back hip socket. So stretching it in the front. Change direction of those circles. Really push the foot into the floor. Lengthen that back leg. Great. Okay, go ahead and step back to the center. We're going to do the middle part of the back or the mid-spine area. So bend the knees a little bit. Step out into a lunge. A little bit of bent knee. Nice and tall. And we're going to push forward and then back. Okay, back to center. I got really sweaty doing that. I have scoliosis, which you might be able to see sometimes. So these are pretty powerful for me to get that mid part of my back to move, because I have curves in there. So you're gonna lift the chest, pushing the spine a little bit forward. As the spine goes back, it rounds a little bit. Okay, feels good to get that spine moving a little bit. Neck feels a little bit more relaxed now that the other part of my spine can move more. The next thing I'm gonna do is for the shoulder blades. So take one in front, go back into a lunge position, and make a soft fist. We're gonna be moving the scapula or the shoulder blade in a circular motion. So think about the scapula just gliding over the back of the ribs. And most of us have to focus on two parts of the circle. It's pulling the scapula in and then down. Seems like most people are more comfortable with the shoulders here, probably from modern people. We do a lot of things with the arms like that, right? So we don't want to have a posture like that. So now change the direction of your circles. We don't want to revert back to the caveman, right? We want to stay upright. All right, so drop the arm down, relax it, shake it out. Change the lunge to the other leg in front. Take the other arm out. And go ahead and start those circular motions of the shoulder blade, focusing on the in and down parts. And change direction of those circles. If you feel you're making a diamond instead of a circle, that's okay, because we're getting all four parts that we want to, which is up, forward, down, and back. Change direction. Okay, shake tension out of that. That should feel good. Next, we're going to do something for the wrists. So you're going to put your hands flat, like you're on a tabletop or a counter, and then we're going to wash the counters, right? So we're going to glide the wrist to the outside and glide the wrist to the inside. Stay as relaxed as you can through your body. Okay, now soft fist. We're going to glide the wrist up and glide the wrist down. Okay. All right, excellent. Now relax the arms again, shake tension out. Take the arms, take the hands in front, spread the fingers a lot. And we're going to do a figure eight. So side lying eight or infinity sign. We're tracing that with the fingers. So a lot of people think this is a wrist stretch. It's more of a finger coordination and stretch. So you want to get the fingers really spreading out and really kind of fanning a little bit through the movement. You'll often feel this in the wrist. Focus on the fingers. All right, relax, shake it out. Okay, awesome. So we're warmed up. We're going to go to the floor for Pilates next. I'm going to move my chair out of the way. So we're going to be laying on our back for most of the Pilates exercises. The first one we're going to do is footwork. Okay, so for those of you that have used the reformer, probably remember the name of the exercise footwork and maybe how to do it. It's more of a joint opening for the lower body. And we're going to do this in a neutral spine. So as we do it without the machine, you're going to feel a little more on the abdominal area. So we're going to bring the legs together. We're going to flex the feet, press the arms back, keep the spine in neutral, and reach the legs out to about a 45-degree angle. Keep the inner thighs connected and bring the knees back in. Press out and in. Keep the abs tight, keep the navel to spine. Press it out and in. And one more, out and in. The bird feet position is going to be squeezing the toes like that. Press out and in. Maintain the toe squeeze, out and in. Two more, out and in. Last one, out and in. Go into a frog leg, heels together. Knees are wider than the shoulders, just a little bit. Press out, point the toe, keep the heels pressing together. Three more. Great, coming in, bring the legs together, give yourself a hug. Good job on the footwork. Rock side to side. All right, well done. Now we're going to go to a tabletop leg, legs slightly apart, arms down. Maintain a 90-degree angle of the knee the whole time during this exercise. We're going to alternate legs and lower one thigh away from you. Tap the toe on the mat if you can find the mat. If you can't, you can stop in midair above it. Try not to bend or straighten the knees. So you want to feel like your legs feel like a dead weight. Just let it drop away, kind of like a sandbag. We're doing this in a neutral spine. Arms pressing back. And last one. All right, well done. Go ahead and give yourself a hug. Good job on that one. And rock side to side. The next one we're going to do is called double leg lowers. You can bring the arms back down. Take the legs up to the ceiling, flex the feet, lower the legs halfway towards the floor, and then back up. Bend your knees in. The next one we're going to do is called single leg stretch. We're going to round the back now, no more neutral spine. We're rounding back towards the mat. Put your hands around one leg on the shin, just below the knee. Stretch the other leg out, point the toe. Okay, bring it in and switch legs. We're going to keep the toes pointed throughout the whole set. Toes stay pointed. Really reach that leg, like you're trying to touch the wall across from you. Press out, keep the abs tight. It helps if you find something on the ceiling to focus on with your eyes. Last one. Great job. Great. Rock side to side. Now, double leg stretch. Toes stay pointed. Reach both legs out. Arms come up. And we're going to just bring the legs back in. So your arms are going to be kind of like you're holding an imaginary ball. Right? And in. And stretch both legs out. And in. And one more out. And in. Excellent. So next we're going to do, take the feet down to the floor. Bring the feet a little bit wider than your hips and turn out just a little bit. Arms down, go straight up into a bridge. Stretch the thighs, lift the hips, and lower the hips straight back down. So we're lifting kind of like a lever. We're not rolling. We're just hinging the pelvis up and then really hinging the top of the thigh to lower the hips. And up and down. And one more. Up and down. Excellent. Walk the feet in, bring the thighs together, keep the feet down. We're going to rock the pelvis back. So now we're rounding the back towards the floor. And then roll up from the tailbone to the base of your shoulder blades. Keep the abs tight, keep the back rounded, and start to roll down one vertebra at a time. All the way back to neutral. And pelvis goes back, pouring the water out of the fishbowl behind you towards the floor. And coming back down, roll. Think about that motor control with the vertebrae, which is one vertebra at a time. Maintaining control of that. Two more. Coming up. And back down. And last one. Excellent. We're going to do a couple exercises laying on the side of the body. So go ahead and roll over. And you can put your pillow under your head. If you don't have a pillow, you can use your arm. And your hand's going to come in front of the chest on the mat. The knees are going to be bent and stacked. And we're going to lift both legs up together. And down. And up. And down. And two more like this. Up. Okay. Now keeping the feet together, knees bent, we're going to open the thighs and close the thighs. You're feeling this more in the glutes and the outer hips. And really turn the thigh out to lift it. One more. Perfect. Now we're going to keep the knees bent. We're going to separate the ankles so the thigh is internally rotated, and then we're going to lift and lower it. So we get a little different angle on the outer hip area. And one more of those. Excellent. Lower the legs down, straighten knees, take the legs in front, and we're going to lift the top leg and lower. Good. Now with the legs staying straight, we're going to externally rotate the thigh of the top leg and lift and lower. Stay turned out. Okay. And then turn the thigh in so toes point more towards the floor and lift and lower. And one more. Good. So as the leg is straight, it's a little more load on the hip muscles that we're working. We're going to change to the other side. And we're going to start with the knees bent. So get comfortable, knees bent, rest your head, hand in front of the chest. Both legs lift and lower. So the other ones were more hips. This is going to be more the side abdominals. Great. Now keep the feet together. Open the thighs and close. Getting more some of the glute muscles, outer hips. Okay, one more of these. Right. Now separate the ankles. They internally rotated through your thigh. A little different part of the glute muscles or hip muscles. Awesome. Okay, so go ahead and straighten the legs and lift and lower. Okay, externally rotate through the thigh. Lift and lower. Excellent. And then internally rotate the thigh. Lift and lower. Turned on the AC today. I haven't done that in the daytime yet, but it hit 100 today in Phoenix, where I live. Good. Bring the legs together. We're going to come up to a standing position. So do that any way that feels safe and comfortable for you. And we're going to be using the chair and the hand weights next. Okay? I'm going to put my mat away. I'm just going to put that out of the way. And I'm going to bring over the chair. Okay, so we're going to use our weights. So I think most of you have some light hand weights. So you have a couple of choices. When we're seated and we do the arm exercises, we can use a little bit of a heavier weight. So I'm going to stack my 2 weights in one hand. These are 3s, that's going to make it a 6. If it feels too heavy for you, don't do that. You can put one hand down and do them with one arm. We're going to do 6 of each exercise. So if you want to try stacking them, go ahead, get nice and tall, and we're going to do a butterfly, obviously one arm at a time, right? Focus on your form. Use your camera or your mirror. Nice and tall. Cool. Now change the weight or weights to the other hand. Okay, one more to go. Feels a little different one arm at a time, right? Now, the next one was going to be an exception. We're going to split the weights up. So we're going to do overhead press. Okay, one more to go. Nice little exercise, getting the arms overhead. Now we're going to split the weights, put the weights in one hand, get nice and tall, and we're going to do a small external rotation. I can already feel a little stretching to the front of my shoulder, so I'm stopping when I start to feel that. You don't want to push this too hard. These muscles are a little more delicate than some of the other shoulder muscles that we're doing. So keep it nice and easy. Okay, last one. Awesome. Go ahead and put the weights into the other hand. Be careful. And bend the arm, and then go ahead and begin that external rotation. Check what's happening through your hips and pelvis. You are probably feeling a little weight shifting from one sitting bone to the other. So try to minimize that as much as you can. Awesome. Okay, we're gonna put them in one hand, one in each hand again. The next one, nice and tall. We're gonna have the arms down. We're gonna bend the elbows up high to a diagonal and pinch the shoulder blades together. This is our rows. So this is working that upper back. Excellent. Now put the weights over to one hand again, nice and tall, and we're gonna do a tricep movement. So again, be careful when you're doing this. Don't slam your arm around. Focus on the back of the upper arm. That's where the triceps are. Okay, one more of these on this side, and then change your weights to the opposite hand. And we're gonna go into our final set of arm stuff with the triceps press. And 2 more of these. Excellent. Okay, so you can put the weights down out of the way. And what we're going to do next is we're going to stay seated. We're going to do a little bit of eye stuff. Let me see what we have on time. Oh, we're doing pretty good. We have about 25 minutes on this video. That's about perfect. Won't go past 40 minutes, probably about 35, between 35 and 40 minutes total for this video. So about 10 minutes, maybe a little less. So for the eye exercise, we're going to take one hand and you want to put it really close to one eye. You can actually cover the other eye while you're getting set up for it. And you want to get the hand as close to the eye as you can while you can still make out some clarity through like the wrinkles on our hand, right? So pick something to focus at that's sharp. I've got a wrinkle that I'm going to look at. And then with the other eye, I want to have a target that's as far away from me as possible that I can see it clearly. So once we have that set up for each eye, we're going to use both eyes for this exercise. And we're going to focus on the near target and then the far target. So I'm switching back and forth between the near and the far targets. Got the one target as close to the eye as I can clearly see it, and the other one is as far as I can have it away while I can clearly see it. So I'm switching back and forth between the near and far targets. Okay. Now my goal is to pick up my speed. I don't want to say it's bad speed, but it feels slow to me right now for how it has been in the past. So I'm going to try to pick up my speed while still focusing on my targets. Okay, my eyes started to get a little dry, so I knew it was time to stop. It's a little bit of thread in the eyes, so I did the right amount of repetitions. So I want you guys to think about those kind of rules as we go along to the next eye. Take the other hand, set up, get it as close as you can, and then get your far target. Nice tall posture, and start switching between the near and far targets. All right, I was able to go a little bit faster. My eyes didn't get dry a little bit right before I stopped. All right, so that's a little bit of near and far target work. Great exercise for the eyes. We want to start to build up our speed and our endurance. So we didn't do that for a super long time, but it's a great time to start with. It's a great one to practice. Super important for moving around the world, being able to focus on it quickly, change your focus quickly, and have endurance or long-lasting effort in that. All right, enough talking. So the next one we're going to do, we're going to take one arm in front, lock the elbow. We're going to look at the thumb, and we're going to be drawing a circle. So head stays facing center. The eyeballs are moving. And then change direction. All right, relax. We're just going to do a little eye reset. We're going to make little cups out of our hands. Place those over the eyes, but make sure you're not squishing your eye. Kind of make a little seal between the nose and cheekbones. Nice deep breaths. A little moisture building up on the eyes now, and they're starting to relax. All right, slowly open the eyes again. All right, we're gonna go into some balance stuff now that our eyes are warmed up and prepped, okay? So you wanna have your high back chair nearby. And what we're gonna do today is we're gonna do a one leg lift. So I recommend lifting the leg that's the furthest from the chair, okay? So we're gonna bend the knee, hold the chair, bend the knee, and lift the leg. So from here, we're gonna move the leg out to the side of the body and back in front, okay? Now, you may feel the ankle on your stance leg shifting around to stabilize. That's okay. That's your brain stabilizing your balance. Now, if you feel that you feel safe enough to take your hand off the chair, practice doing it with your hand off the chair, okay? See if you can do one side to front or front to side without your hand on. Okay. And let's do one more front to side. Bring the leg back in front and slowly bring it down. Okay, so we're gonna do this on the other leg. You can just turn around to face the other way. Bring it up, and then we're moving front to side. My cats are just super chilled right now. They've been enjoying the window. I don't know why, it's like 100 degrees out there, but I had it open. And they still love it, even though it's 100. I'm sure they're glad they have an inside area to hang out in though. Try to challenge your balance, take the hand off that chair. Okay, and then one more motion. And bring the leg front, and then lower the leg back down. All right, great. Now we're gonna do a sit to stand and a stand to sit. So we're gonna sit all the way towards the front edge of the chair. And the higher your chair, it actually makes it a little bit easier. If you have a lower chair for this one, it will be more challenging. We're gonna take the arms down by the side of the body, get all the way to the very edge of that chair, seat, and we're gonna push down to the feet and use the glutes to bring the hips forward. When you lower down, lightly touch the chair and come back up. My chair is on a moving surface and it makes it a little bit harder, but I'm up for the challenge, right? So lightly touch it and up. You're gonna feel the inner and outer thighs working to stabilize. Try to keep the knees nice and straight. That's what I'm looking at in the camera. Like, are my knees wobbling in and out? This one is a little bit, so I'm trying to keep it nice and stable. 2 more. And last one. Hey, everybody. My head is like hardly in the video. Not important, I guess, right? Okay, so great job on the sit to stands. Got one more balance exercise we're gonna do. Have the chair nearby. And what we're gonna do is just a plain old single leg stand. I'm gonna give you my face this time and just bring one foot off the floor. And we're gonna stabilize it. We're gonna hold it for 1 minute. So I'm gonna watch the clock while you guys are holding that. One minute, right? If you have to put your hand on the chair, that's okay. Just come back into the single leg stance and we'll fill up that whole minute. Even if it's chopped up, we're gonna get there, all right? 30 more seconds. If it's not chopped up, well done. So important to have balance skills, right? Stay nice and tall. Check in with your breathing. Make sure your breathing's nice and under control. We're almost to a minute. There it is. Go ahead and lower that leg down, and we're gonna go to the other side. You can turn around if you want to, or you can stay in front. We're not moving the leg to the side, so it shouldn't hit the chair or the wall. Go ahead and start lift. I'm gonna start timing you guys right now. Definitely gonna be doing more and more workouts inside myself now with the heat. I mean, it's gonna be 100 now for a few months. So a lot of kind of creative stuff at home. And I'll be sharing some of those things with you guys with each of these classes. All right, we've got 15 more seconds. Did you come out of it? Are you staying in it? How's your breathing? All right, 1 minute. Go ahead and lower down that leg. All right, great job on that. So we've done some good stuff for our balance today, improving our bodies in a positive way. We're gonna do a little cool down. So for the cool down, we're gonna do a little split stance. Get nice and tall. You let your arms swing like pendulums. Just a little rotation through the body. And if you're getting dizzy looking behind you, keep the eyes forward, focus on something. Okay, come to the center, place one hand on the lower ribs or abdominal area, other hand up here on the chest. Take some nice deep breaths. Just a little breathing reset. Time to get in touch with the inside of our body. How are we feeling? All right, thanks everyone for joining me. I love being able to offer these for you guys to do in between the sessions, in between the workouts. Send me some feedback. If you have any questions or comments, just email me. Love to hear from you. And I look forward to seeing you all during your sessions this week. Have a wonderful week. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Enjoy your Monday. Enjoy the whole week. And thanks again.